no reference to any specific religion or any specific belief. I believe there is a person that has some of the cultural attributes of a Muslim that's in the group, but that's the only way you could link this, as I understand it, to anything that would be faith-related.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chairman. How are you? Madam Chairman, Mr. Hale, Council, esteemed members of the Board of Directors, good morning. It's good to be here. Thank you for the honor of speaking with you this morning. The agenda item which I'd like to address is the Council on American and Islamic Relations' continued efforts to get this board to allow them to have their bus campaign. Now, by way of introduction, I am a judge advocate in the United States Marine Corps. I hold the rank of colonel. I've been in the Marine Corps for 23 years, 17 years of which have been active duty, the last 10 of which have been as a judge advocate, which is a lawyer. I am sworn before the United States Supreme Court, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit, the Supreme Court of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I'm sworn under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Now, the board may remember that I sent you a letter about 3 months ago addressing this issue as well. But I wanted to appear in person today to again renew my position on this matter. And I want to thank you for the position that you took 3 months ago. I believe it was the right position then and it's the right position now. As the board knows, the policy currently is that you will not accept advertisements that primarily promote a religious faith or religious organization. Now, as a threshold issue, the board has to decide what is a religious organization. Now, the Supreme Court in the Ballard case in 1944 said that a religion is determined by the sincerity and depth of belief, not whether it is true or false. So the board's threshold issue is CAIR advancing a religious agenda? And of course, the word Islamic in their title answers that question. But first of all, we have to do a due diligence. The CAIR organization purports to be a civil rights organization. I think it's incumbent upon all of us to ask the question, whose civil rights? What civil rights? Upon what transcendental philosophy are these civil rights based upon? Is it really a civil rights group if their advocacy is only for one religion? Now, don't get me wrong. They can advocate for whoever they want. They can advocate for left-handed, blue-eyed Martians. That's perfectly legitimate under our legal system. The question is, does HART want to put their good name behind an organization that is so narrowly tailored? I was on the CAIR Florida website yesterday. They offer 4 books in their bookstore, 3 of which have the name Islam in the title. I was on the national website yesterday as well. They offer 1 book, the Quran. By comparison, the North American Man-Boy Love Association uses language such as this. Now, I want to be very careful. I am not, I say again, not comparing NAMBLA to CAIR in terms of beliefs or actions. I'm only drawing the comparison based on the language that they use. And I quote from NAMBLA's website, NAMBLA is a political, civil rights, and educational organization. We provide factual information and help educate society about the positive and beneficial nature of man-boy love. That's from NAMBLA.org. The discrimination that NAMBLA is against is ageism. Now, who amongst us is for age discrimination? We're all opposed to age discrimination. So the language that CAIR uses does not necessarily mean that they are not a religious organization. They may be a civil rights organization, and that's fine. But they are also inherently a religious organization. I would ask this board what your action might be if you were approached by the Council on American Presbyterian Relations, the Council on American Amish Relations, the Council on American Scientology Relations, the Council on American KKK Relations, and the list goes on and on. In conclusion, it's pretty evident that CAIR, the Council on American and Islamic Relations, is in fact, at its heart, a religious organization. And therefore, I believe that under your current policy and the current law, that it would be improper for HART to accept the advertising campaign from the organization CAIR. Madam Chairman, I thank you for your time. Subject to any questions, this concludes my remarks this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cash.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good morning, Ms. Lee.
Good morning.
I live at Laura Lee. I live at 2711 Coastal Ridgeway, Lopes, Florida, 33549. And I'm here also to comment on CAIR. And I just wanted to make a few comments. I had a question about the word jihad. And I spoke with a friend who is Egyptian and lives in Cairo and asked him if I understand the meaning of the word jihad, or is it something that's used differently and we just aren't aware of it used in different contexts in current culture. And he said that translated, we know that jihad means struggle, but it's an old word and it's not used in daily life for current culture. Using the word jihad on these bus advertisements is disingenuous as far as I'm concerned, since it's not used in the modern Muslim culture or society. No one over there would say, my jihad is to stay fit in spite of my busy work schedule. It seems that CAIR wants to change the meaning of the word and redefine jihad and put it in a different context to make it seem less inflammatory. Muslims and non-Muslims alike understand that the meaning of jihad is to make war against everyone who is not Muslim and to kill everyone who is not Muslim. It's clear that the My Jihad ads are religious in nature, and it's my understanding that currently HART policy prohibits advertising from religious groups. Are we to make an exception for CAIR and Islam? This would open the door, like the other gentleman said, to other advertisements. And I just wanted to, recently, Orlando, the Lynx Bus Board members denied the ads because they thought they were too controversial. And if you follow the current rules for advertising, you have to vote no on the CAIR ads, which prohibit religious advertising or any advertising with religious connotations. If you vote yes, you will first have to rewrite and change the rules. As it stands right now, the PSTA, their rules for advertising are strictly limited to speech which proposes solely a commercial transaction. And if we were to change the rules, I think that it would be good to align them with what PSTA has, where it's strictly for the free speech of advertising for commercial products.